I cannot believe that it is halfway through 2025. Who else just feels like it just kind of, we started 2025 and then it just, suddenly we're in July. Like, what happened? So in today's video, I am going to be doing my July goals, my second half of the year goals, and just giving you a little update as to where I've been, like what has been happening, and just everything. So let's go ahead and get started.
And trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it.
So there's a lot to go through, and there's a lot to get into, and there's a lot to explain and describe, and a lot to kind of just update you guys on. If you're new here, hi, my name is Deanna, and I am a late diagnosed autistic female, and I make content here on YouTube as a way of trying to make this my career, and in the future hoping to be completely self-employed, to run an Etsy store, which I will leave linked in the description box down below. I sell budgeting supplies because budgeting is something that I really struggled with as an autistic, and so I make budgeting supplies that are autistic and like just cash stuffing type stuff. So I make those in the sort of way that I would want to budget. I use a lot of them myself, and I also buy from other small businesses that sell cash stuffing supplies. So if you know of any good ones, then please leave them in the comment section down below. But yeah, that is my plan, and for the second half of 2025 I really want to make that my reality, because this now leads me into an update in terms of my mental health, but just the autistic side of things. So I've really been struggling at work, and I've been reduced to tears on multiple times, and a lot of this is been like in hindsight because of miscommunication and misunderstanding. And being an autistic, if you're an autistic out there, you will probably know that misunderstandings, miscommunications make up a lot of the reason why we feel like we can't have an employed job. I do struggle daily throughout my employed job. Some days are better than others, and if you're one of my friends, you will know that some days are much, much better than others, and some days I can function really, really well, and other days I really do struggle, and I come home and cry, I feel burnt out and everything. And that was the case so I broke up. I finished work for the summer on July 4th, I believe it was, or July 3rd, something like that. I work at a private school, so therefore I broke up like really, really early, and I finished my work, and then for the next kind of 2 to 3 days I just literally did not move from my bed. I was not productive. I was in a state of burnout, and this is probably the first state of burnout that I have properly realised, but it was definitely caused by my work, and I don't want that to be the case. I don't want it to be the case where I feel like I can't function for 2 or 3 days after I've done something because it is causing me a state of burnout. And being an autistic, I know that's probably going to be something that's going to happen throughout my life. Like, I'm going to have times where they're going to be really, really bad, and I'm going to struggle with just functioning. However, whenever I'm doing my YouTube bits and pieces, I find it a lot easier to stay productive, stay functioning, stay myself really, and stay me. So if you like this sort of content, then please don't forget to subscribe down below if you're not subscribed already, and leave this video a like so that it can be shared to more people, and then I can also make this my career. So the awareness will get spread to more people, but then ultimately I can make this my career, because at the moment, even though I've got over 1,000 subscribers, I do not get paid for any of this content that I make, because I'm not part of the YouTube AdSense. I have not made the watch time requirement, so that is currently where we're sitting. So I'll put a screenshot on the screen somewhere around my head as to like where I am in terms of the YouTube monetization, but I believe I have got just over 2,000 out of the 4,000 watch hours, I believe. So if you have some time to put my content on and have some time just to binge watch it to get me up in that watch time, then yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone who does that. But anyway, let's get into the thing. I have made some notes, so I've got a bit of paper here that's got some notes on it, because I just always forget things. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I want to use this reset to really re-energize myself and to really kind of feel a lot more like ready for the next half of the year. And I know that sounds a bit silly, but I struggle when it comes to like the end of a month or the end of a section of like my life, and I struggle to like actually feel motivated to like continue, I suppose, or motivated to, I don't know, motivated in general. I'm gonna move the camera down, I think, because I think we're slightly too tall. Right, That's better. So I'm going to start by reviewing the goals for like the first half of the year as to what I accomplished and what I feel like I could improve on and all those sorts of bits and pieces. So I'm going to start off with financial. So I'm slowly making progress out of being in debt. I was over £3,000 worth of debt into like a overdraft plus like a £600 credit card plus Klarna and ClearPay and all that sort of stuff. So I was really struggling when it came to my finances, and a lot of the time that boils down to, if I see a number on a screen, I struggle to connect that with the amount of money. Whereas when I do cash stuffing, hence why I've got a cash stuffing business on Etsy, because I feel that cash stuffing has got me out of this much debt, and it does for a lot of people, whether they're autistic or not. So if you're struggling with your finances, I highly do recommend starting cash stuffing. It can be a bit of money to get started with it, but overall you will make that money back and more, because especially if you like the idea of physical cash, the challenges and the ability to keep going is just, you physically have it in your hand. And I always struggled with not having the physical money in my hand. Seeing a number on the screen is one thing, but physically holding a £20 note and knowing that like if I spend £11 of that, I have £9 left, like that is just something that I cannot describe. Like I really have responded well to that, and a lot of people do, whether they're autistic or not. And I have fallen a little bit out of the like sort of the regime of it in June. However, I'm back in it in July, and I withdrew some money so that I could start my cash stuffing back in and fresh again in July. So I am super happy and ready to get started with that. I have done 2 weeks now already where I have done cash stuffing, and I have got money left over from what I budgeted. So then that's been put into my cash stuffing challenges, and it really does help me. It really does. So personal. I am still struggling with my sleep and my productivity. However, I am getting slightly better, and I am trying to get into a sleep routine. It doesn't always work, and that, I think that boils down to like the last 2 to 3 days where I've been in that burnout. I've been sleeping like 16 to 18 hours out of a 24-hour period, and it really, I hate it. I hate just like not being able to function as like a normal human being, and like in inverted commas a normal human being, or like mask to be that like normal person, because it's really difficult. And I've had a lot of setbacks recently, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of upset and a lot of change, and I've really been struggling with that. So I have also then struggled to understand why it has been such a big issue for me, and the productivity and the executive dysfunction and all that sort of stuff. And I am going to potentially be looking into getting an ADHD diagnosis. And for those of you who may have ADHD or may have ADHD, may have autism, who think they might have also ADHD, might relate to the I can't focus for long periods of time unless I've got like multiple things going on. Like if I'm doing my diamond art, I can't just be doing my diamond art. I have to have like a movie on Netflix playing as well, because I physically cannot just focus on my diamond art. It is like I have to constantly have that background noise, and filming at the moment with like zero background noise is really difficult. But yeah, it's difficult, but it is manageable, because I know that I need to be able to film in like the quietest experience possible. But I might be seeking an ADHD assessment when I come back from my holiday that is happening at the end of July. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We might go through an ADHD diagnosis. But if you've got any experiences when it comes to getting an ADHD diagnosis, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will be looking at doing the NHS Right to Choose. But if any of you have been through that pathway, or have been through just an ADHD diagnosis in general, please leave some comments down below. I really would appreciate it for your experiences and some advice in terms of that, because that would really help me. The next thing is health and mental health. So being autistic and only being diagnosed at 28, and I'm 30 this year, I'm 30 in like literally next month, which is kind of scary. But being diagnosed at 28 and then finally almost having to get to know myself again and getting to learn myself and know who I am again is kind of difficult, but I am learning more and more about myself every single day, and I'm getting to know who I am, what my struggles are, how to fix those struggles, how to help those struggles. Like, for example, I know that if I make this my job, if I can make YouTube my job and it's like gives me enough to be able to pay for like everything and to be able to support myself financially, I know that this job would be a fix to a lot of struggles that I have in my employed job, because at the moment I work an employed job and YouTube and Etsy. And so basically I'm doing like 3 jobs, which is not easy, especially as Etsy doesn't really bring me in a lot. At the moment I'm doing like 1 sale every like 2 weeks ish, which is great. And there's not a lot of products, so I kind of understand why I'm not getting so many sales. I am going to be working on that over the time, sort of before I go on holiday, and then releasing a load of products at the end of August. So if you have any ideas, if you're a cash stuffer and you have any ideas for anything you would really like to see in the launch in like the end of August, early September, then please let me know, because yeah, it will be quite a big launch, because I will be almost redoing a load of things. Like, I'm still going to have my stuff that's currently on there, but I'm going to be putting a load more stuff on there, like a load more new designs. Anyway, let's get going. So social media, I took an unexpected break, as you probably saw if you follow me, and if you're a loyal follower, you probably saw that I took an unexpected break, and that is because, as I previously explained, I was burnt out. So I need to practice gratitude, and that is one thing I really struggle with, is practicing gratitude for the things that I have achieved and celebrating the small wins. So I have reached 1.6k subscribers on YouTube. I am actually so happy about that. Like, it feels like yesterday I reached 1k, but in actual fact it was over a year ago. I think I reached 1k in like May of last year, so May 2024, and so it feels like I'm not growing enough, but I know that a lot of that is to do with me and to do with the fact that I'm not putting the work in, or I'm not putting enough work that I can be putting in. So yeah, I would love to be able to reach 2.5k by the end of the year. That is going to be setting quite an ambitious goal, but I would love to be able to hit 2.5k by the end of the year. So if you are not subscribed, please, I don't know how else to ask, but please. Okay, so we're going to be starting to set some new intentions, and this is where I'm going to bring in some SMART goals. And like I previously mentioned, I want to reach 2.5k. So the S is like whatever it is, the S is specific. So to reach 2.5k on subscribers, to get myself to like closer to becoming a full-time YouTuber. Measurable is like the amount that I want to get, so that's 2.5k subscribers. Achievable is to get closer. So like, achievable is like, is it achievable? Well, yes, I think so. It's a realistic achievable, but it's if I put that work in, I'll get out what I put in. So I think if I was to put all the work in, I could reach 2 to 2.5. I'm going to be aiming high, trying to reach 2.5. And the R is relevant. So it is relevant because I want to become a full-time YouTuber. And my time bound is by the 31st of December 2025. And that is my biggest SMART goal. Then we are going to be working into the next SMART goal, which is still YouTube relevant, but it is more specific in terms of the content. So I want to have at least one long form YouTube content scheduled at least a week in advance, so that I'm working a week in advance of everything, and then trying to get like further advanced, so that if I do get into a burnout situation, I have content that is scheduled and it is in advance, so that I'm not feeling like pressured to sit and film and to sit and edit, which is currently what is happening and currently what is something I'm struggling with. So then measurable is by the end of a month, I want to have the first week of the next month scheduled. So like by the end of July, so like the last week in July, I want to have the first week of August scheduled. So that's that one. Next, paper. Sorry, it's on all bits of paper. This is recycled paper, by the way. The A, whatever the A is to plan content or film rather than playing games, or like on my PC or whatever, on my phone or whatever, and to basically keep telling myself that this is my future. I need to spend more time on my future rather than living in the present. Like, I feel like a lot of the time I live in the present, and I live in a mindset which is kind of like the here and now. I need to be thinking more about my future and more about like what I want to do in like the future, rather than, as I said, living in the present. So the relevant is to start creating a routine surrounding content and make it more consistent. So whether I do like a filming day once a week, and then I do an editing day twice a week, or when I'm at work, if I do 2 evenings of editing plus the time that I can edit in work, because I take my laptop to work. So whether I do like, when I go back to work, whether I have the Saturday as my filming day or the Sunday as my filming day, and then the rest of the week is like kind of editing, like I spend at least 2 whole evenings editing. I'm gonna probably end up having about 1 half day next year when I start in September, maybe 2. So like that half day is going to be one of my editing days sort of thing. I'll get home and edit, and then I'll do more editing whilst I'm at work, because I can do that. I'm struggling to get a good setup at the moment where like I can actually feel like I've got a desk and somewhere to sit and somewhere that's decent, but I'm struggling. I'm trying to get a good setup. However, I think that is, yeah. And then it says the time consistency I've put down is to be consistently creating content and have a good schedule by the 31st of December 2025. So both of these goals are to be by the end of the year. So these are like my end of year goals. So if you are resetting along with me, then it's important to choose a few areas of your life to focus on, like whether you want to focus on your health, your relationships, your work, your career, your money, whatever it is. For me, it is money and work, and work being like what the career I want to have, so living more in the future rather than living in the present, and that is what I've chosen. But if you're struggling with your health, maybe you need to focus on your health and to really take some time to make doctor's appointments and to really kind of find out what's going on with you or something like that. Or whether it's, if you're focusing just on your finances, then trying to figure out what is the best way for you to financially get out of a debt or something like that. I find that tracking my finances and doing the cash stuffing in combination really helps me to save money. I was doing this really, really well, to the point where at the moment I've got a credit card that I need to pay off, which is my next goal, and I've got some clear pay which I continually pay off, and I'm trying not to use it as much as possible. I'm trying to like get it down to 0 and not use it. I usually have about £200 to £300 just pending, and I usually try and use clear pay just for the big purchases. However, I want to pay down my credit card and then use my credit card for the big purchases, so that's kind of what I want to end up be doing. However, this is kind of a sort of plateau that I'm stuck in at the moment. However, the plan is to basically do the cash stuffing, and then once I finish a challenge, to put that towards a credit card and just not spend on the credit card anymore, because it's at max and I want to bring it down to at least half by the end of 2025, if not completely paid off. So that is my goal. My July focuses is to create routines around cleaning, around housework, and around content creation, to post 4 long form videos on YouTube, at least 1 per week, or at least 4 across the month, and then at least 1 short per week, if not 2. I want to try and get 3 or 4, but if I set the bar at a 1 to 2 level and then I manage to get 3 or 4, then that's even better. And I want to start to reduce my screen time. So this is where it's like it comes into the living in the present, playing those games, like all that sort of stuff. So my average for June of week 2 was 9 hours and 20 minutes a day, and then my week 3 was 10 hours and 4, and my week 4 was 9 hours and 55. I want to try and get to a consistent under 9 hours for July, and then try and bring it to under 8, and then like try and eventually get it down as low as possible. But for July, try and stay under 9 hours. And this is just my phone. I'm not counting my computer, because that is a lot of like editing and stuff, which can be a lot more screen time. However, I want to start trying to reduce my screen time, and a lot of that screen time is like used with games and stuff, and trying to do the quick fixes for like, you know, the earning games, and also like, you know, the make money with certain apps and stuff like that. And it doesn't make you a lot, so I need to focus more on the future rather than on a quick fix in a current situation where I can earn a fiver here or a tenner here. Like, I need to try and focus more on the long-term goals and earning bigger lump sums of money. The last part of this reset, well, the last part of the talking part of this reset, is I am going to be sharing some monthly favourites. So one of my big monthly favourites, I'm going to put a picture on screen here, is the Nivea Skin Glow, but the vitamin C version. That one I find is amazing to use every single morning. I find that it brightens my skin. I find that it is just amazing to use. Like, I love it. And then spot patches, I'm going to leave an Amazon link to those, because I have some really nice ones. I've currently got one on my chest. I don't think you can see it, but I've currently got one on my chest because I had a random spot appear on my chest, and I had a really, really bad spot on my chin that is now gone to that kind kind of crispy, scabby sort of period of time, but it was a really deep spot, and I had one on my chin as well that was really deep, and the spot patches sorted it out. And I'm also going to put a link to my HP mouse that I use for my computer now. I had a really cheap one and it was fine, but the scrolly wheel then broke and it basically wasn't scrolling effectively, so I couldn't edit as quick as I wanted to. However, now the mouse I've got, HP mouse, it is a completely wireless mouse with like a little dongle that sits inside the computer, and brilliant, absolutely love it. Like, it is a game changer for editing, it's a game changer for when I do play some PC games, and it is a game changer in general. So the final part of this reset, and I don't think it'd be reset, it would be like a reset if I didn't show you a haul. So I actually went to Lidl yesterday and I picked up some things for my like weekly shop. I'm going to go ahead and insert that clip now. Okay, so I have just got back from Lidl and I am out of breath, but I want to show you what I got from Lidl, because if you're anything like me and you're nosy with what everyone gets with their food shop, I thought I'd show you. So I have got 2 bags like this and a like wheelie trolley full. It's down out of the view of the camera. You can probably see the handle just about, but let's get going. So I got bread, because bread, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm be putting this away whilst also talking to you, by the way, because otherwise I will not put it away, or I will be struggling to put it away. Anyway, 2 different air fresheners, one in lemon sherbet and one in pink blossom. They don't usually have the pink blossom one, so I got one. Then going along the idea of like cans and tins, 2 different spray deodorants, because they were like £1.09 each. They were really like quite affordable, you know. I also got some pedal bin liners. These were actually free because I had like some coupons on my Lidl Plus app that basically made certain products free. There was 2 products that I get regularly, well, that I have got before. This one I get regularly because I actually love their little pedal bin liners. But yeah, basically these were free. They were a coupon on my app. I also got these. These I think were 99p each. They are like the dupe for the Australian hair stuff. If you've tried these, please let me know, because I suffer really bad with like I've got very fine hair, but I've got lots of it. And that's a quote from my hairdresser, by the way. And basically it means that I don't have volume on the top of my head. Like, this is probably as much volume as I'll get, especially as I wear it up in a ponytail quite a lot of the time. However, I want to try and get some more volume. So let me know if you tried these, because I am excited to try them. This is the second item that was free, which was like cupcake cases, because I bought them before and it was like a vouchery thing. Then I also got some white chocolate chips because I couldn't get some in Asda, and I got some chicken paste. Saves me making chicken paste. I got some garlic in a jar. I got some vanilla extract, just the Bell Bake one, just the cheap one. And then these were actually on a special like deal. So I got 4 of the chicken casserole packets and 2 of the sausage casserole packets. They're the 2 that I do gravitate towards. I think I'm out of chicken casserole. I might have some sausage casserole, so hence why I only got 2 of them. But I think they were like 30-something-p each. I will put the price on screen if I can find it. But they were really cheap, so I got 6 packets. I also got some glue for my scrapbooking. A whipped chocolate orange bars, because they're good, and I got some panda cake bars as well. I also got some of the whipped toffee bars and some of the toilet block things for my toilet. So I'm gonna go put this away and then I'm gonna come back and do the rest of it. My next bag is my main like fridge bag, so let's go ahead and get this into the fridge. So I brought 4 of just the cheap pizza bases, because I'm going to make my own pizza and then freeze them. So that's going to go straight in the fridge, because they've been out of the fridge for quite a while, considering that I don't drive and I have to rely on buses and stuff. It takes me like an hour to get back. I also got some of the whipped cheesecake yogurts. These are really nice, actually, to be fair. So they're going to go straight in the fridge if I can find a space for them. I will sort them out once I'm not filming. I also got a big pack of mushrooms, because I'm going to put mushrooms in like a pasta sauce, and I'm also going to put mushrooms on my pizza. So I thought I'd get a big, massive pack that can go in the drawer. And then, what else did I get? Oh, yes, I got a protein yogurt pouch and a massive block of cheese for the pizzas and the cheese, the snack cheese and everything. So where's that yogurt going to go? It's going to go up there, and then I'm running out of space. I need to sort this all out. My whole fridge needs sorting out. Right. So now we're going to go onto the trolley. The trolley is full of like, I think just slightly heavier items and also slightly more bulky items. So let's start off with high protein wraps. So I think these were 99p for some high protein wraps. Pretty decent. My kitchen is a mess, by the way. I am going to be sorting that out once I've sat down and had a drink because, yeah. I also got some all butter cheese and onion twists, and I also got some carrots. As you can tell, this is in no particular order because I have no particular order in my entire life. So why would this haul be any different? Right, that's in there. That doesn't need to go in the fridge though. Right, next thing is some chicken stock cubes and some tomato puree, essentials. I also got some rice cakes because I love rice cakes. I don't know why I'm giving reasons for everything, but I still am. Right, 2 pouches of long grain rice because it's easy to do a pouch of long grain rice, then cook it sometimes. This I thought was really cool. It's a chili non carne, but it's a high protein, 16 grams of protein. I thought for an easy tea, that was some rice. This will probably do 2 servings for me because of my surgery. So I could probably do half packet of this with a half packet of rice and then do the same again for like the following day or the following lunch. I also got some high protein pancakes in chocolate chip. They also had a salted caramel version, I think, but I went with the chocolate chip ones. So here's the naughty bit. I got some sweets. I got 2 packs of these like fizzy belts and then 2 packs of these strawberry pencils. They are my favourite types of sweets and they were like 45p a go. So that's my naughty bit. Plus these that were on reduction. I think they were £1.15 and they're like tartlets with hazelnut filling. So I just thought a bit naughty. I got some crisps, but I got them reduced fat. So I got like crinkle cut crisps, really salted reduced fat and cheese and onion. They didn't have a salt and vinegar. So I just got these 2. I got another pack of tissues because as you can tell from all my video clips, well, I probably cut it out, but my nose runs. My nose runs an incredible amount of times and I always have to like have a box of tissues on hand. So I'm on my last one, so I got another one that was £1 just to be as a backup box. Then I got an insane amount of sanitary pads because I'm a woman who needs sanitary pads. These were on a promotion as well. I think they were like 60-something-p rather than 70-something-p a packet or something like that. They were on like a 10 or 15% off, something like that. So I got 100 pads because there's 20 in each packet. So I got 100 and I got some toilet tissue and I think that's it. I think, yeah, that is it. That is my whole haul. I'm probably going to move now on to sorting my kitchen out because, as you can probably see from behind me, I have a random cereal box with the cereal not in it and I've got so much stuff to put away, but I've been in a bit of a rut, as I explained at the beginning of this video. So let's cut to the cleaning clip. And then after I did this haul and after I showed you this haul, I had a little bit of lunch and then I actually cleaned up the kitchen a little bit. Not loads, but I'm going to put this clip in and I'm going to talk over it because I feel that it's going to be sped up really, really quickly. And I just feel that watching cleaning is really satisfying when it's sped up, and it's really satisfying when you just kind of see like a 30-minute clip sped up to like 3 minutes. It's honestly, I feel that it's so satisfying. How are you guys? At the end of this video, I want to just check in with you guys. How are you guys? Like, how are you? Honestly, how are you? And if you've made it this far, then please leave a sunflower emoji. I have my nice little sunflower earrings in, which I might just switch the contents a second just to show you that I have my sunflower earrings in, or I might just show you at the end of the video because they are so cute. They're little dangle sunflower earrings. So if you made it this far, then please leave a sunflower emoji within a comment down below because I love it when people comment. I honestly, whenever I get a really wholesome comment, I screenshot it and then I'm going to start scrapbooking and starting to put all these comments like in a scrapbook because honestly, I really want to be able to keep those memories and keep them alive and keep them as something that I can sort of look at when I'm feeling down and look at when I'm feeling not the best. So I hope this is the end of the cleaning. If it's not, then I'm sorry, but you can listen to some music towards the end and then see my beautiful sunflower earrings. But if this is the end, and I hope it is, please don't forget that I believe in you, even if nobody else does, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, and yeah, here's my sunflower earrings. They are so cute, look.
Just like you're young again, no, don't you cry. Just get back up again.